Let's get a little clearer there. There we go. Hello and welcome, Reiki Studio. Thank you for bearing with me. Sometimes I live in this little village and our internet goes out. Can't do much about it, but I am hardwired in. So, welcome. Welcome to Reiki Studio. This is where we're a group that I created to empower your life journey, whatever it may be, whatever steps you have to empower it, to bring that light to shine, to embrace it, and also just to fuel you up. And so we created this wonderful group called the Panelists, and this is where people in our own tribe step up and want to talk about a certain subject. And so I started this all the way. This is our 10th episode. And this is part 2 of the root chakra. We are honoring the energetic system in 2021, and we are working on in depth and connecting with it, and able to use some tools and techniques to help balance our energetic systems and our beautiful, 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 beautiful wheels of light. So this week this month we wrap up the root chakra, and we have Dana and Rhonda and Vicky joining us. Vicky is a new person that's joining the Panelists, so I would love everybody to welcome her. She's going to do a great job. I've known Vicky quite a long time, and we have been working with her energetically for a while too. So first, we're going to talk about, the energetic system and the chakra itself, the root. And Dana Bardet is actually going to talk a little bit more about this. Dana?
Hey, hi y'all. I'm Dana. I'm gonna go into some details with y'all about your root chakra today. Kathy, you got our little picture to put up there to discuss the symbol of the root chakra? Yep. Okay. So what? Can you hear me still, Kathy? Okay. So when you look at this symbol, you might not know what this means, but there's a reason for all of these things. There's 4 leaves, obviously. That's your it's called your Muladhara or your root chakra. The 4 leaves, this all comes from Sanskrit yoga. So the top leaf is your petals or your nadis that are going to run throughout your whole body. Your root system runs your whole energetic system. It's all running through your root system. The text is your the mantra seed. When we see the little writing inside of there, that's your mantra seed, and that's a mantra that is in Sanskrit that I will tell y'all in just a minute to help bring your energy on your root level up. And then the downward triangle, that is your home to the Kundalini. That is the womb of creation. That's where it all begins. And then we also have the square that we see in the middle of that. And that is like our earth. That is a representation. And a lot of them you'll see inside the square earth that it's yellow. And the yellow represents life, creation, because without yellow, without the sun, we cannot live. So we have the earth and the life in there together. And without a strong foundation, we cannot build a great life. So when you're looking at this, the mantra for the little Sanskrit writing that you see inside there, you want to sit for 5 minutes on your feet, and you want to say this over and over and over till you just feel better. You want to say Lam, Aim, Harim, Shireen, Sri, Matre, Naham, Lam. Lam, Aim, Hrim, Shreem, Sri, Mantra, Lama, Lam. I don't know where the Lama come from. But that is your root chakra mantra to just work on your root chakra daily. And then the 4 petals, starting at the one at the top, I started to say this a while ago and I forgot. The first petal is your VAM. These are your sounds for the root chakra, VAM. The second petal, and they always go clockwise. The second one is Sham. The third one is Sham. And the fourth one is Sum. When we look at that, they're all going to be spelled, except for VAM is VAM. They're all going to be spelled SAM, but they're going to have different hyphens in different areas. And that's why we get the 4 different types of sounds. So you can go ahead and take that away, Kathy, if you want to. So when we talk about our root chakra, we're talking about, I'm not going to go over the basic stuff that y'all already know. You know, it's your security, how you feel. I'm going to go, what we get in our root chakra, we get our integrity, our responsibility, our authenticity, and how we enrich other people's lives. This is what affects our root chakra. And so today, I want to kind of go into integrity. When we say our integrity, what does that really mean? Okay, so first of all, the definition of integrity is fulfilling your words or thoughts to yourself or other people. So if you tell yourself, I'm going to lose 20 pounds by the summer, and you don't lose 20 pounds by the summer, well, okay, and you don't go in and forgive yourself for not losing the 20 pounds and acknowledge to yourself that, hey, I didn't lose the 20 pounds and that's okay. What you develop in your root chakra is a lack of self-confidence. And we want to keep our self-confidence. You know, I like to call the root chakra kind of like your reality chakra. It's keeping us grounded. It's keeping us based. And when you have an inner reality and outer reality that's not the same, then you have a bad chakra. Your inner reality is the things you tell yourself. When you talking to yourself in your head and you say, oh, I'm a good person, I'm this, I'm that, I'm all that. But then when reality comes around, you're mean to everybody that talks to you. You're hateful to your mama, you're hateful to your daddy. Your kids get on your last nerve. Your boyfriend drives you crazy. Well, that's not being true to your inner self. We need to let these people know how we feel so that we can live with ourselves, because it's so important to be true to our inner selves. We have to make our thoughts inside of our head match the thoughts on the outside of our head. And I hope that kind of makes a little bit of sense. But so, you know, if I tell you, Vicki, let's go shopping next Friday. And you say, oh God, I've been dying to go shopping next Friday. Yes, that'd be great. And then next Friday rolls around and you hadn't heard from me at all. You know, there you are, dressed, ready to go. And there's no Dana. So that loses, you have lost respect for me in keeping my word. And I have lost my self-integrity for not keeping my word, because I know in my heart that I was supposed to be there on Friday to go shopping with you. So these things are really, really important. And what we need to do to work on our root chakra is work on our integrity. And the way we work on our integrity is because we sit on our feet in like a prayer gosha thing. And we sit in front of a mirror. And while we're sitting in front of that mirror, what we're doing is we're asking ourselves, what are my thoughts about me? How do I really feel about me? How do I feel about what I do, what I say? Am I true to myself? Am I true to my other chakras? Am I true to what I feel on a daily basis? And you need to write these things down. This is like a little exercise for y'all. Sit in front of that mirror and write these things down and see, and then walk away from the mirror, come back a few minutes later and look in that mirror and write down. Now you have to be honest with yourself, because that's the hardest part about getting our chakra system right, is being honest with ourselves. So in a few minutes later, come back with that same piece of paper and write down the truth about how other people see you. Are you true to them? Are you honest to them? Do you do what you say you're going to do? And if these two don't match what you got going on the inside and what you have going on the outside, then your root chakra's out of whack. I mean, it's just out of balance. And the only thing you can do is learn to be true with yourself. So you need to do that with yourself. And once you finish that, the next thing that you need to do is your mother and father, because they are the beginning of your root chakra, as we call it, the root chakra. They are your primal caregivers. So if you walk around, tell everybody, my mom's wonderful, I love her so much, but on the inside, you're saying, oh my God, that woman drives me crazy. I can't stand her. I wish she'd quit calling me every day. You know, these are things you're not being true with. And whether or not you really mean it, I mean, you know, sure, we know you love your mama, but you're telling this on the inside of your brain, and then on the outside, you're saying something else. So your body becomes confused. So you need to sit down in front of that same mirror and do this for your mama, for your daddy. And then when you get through with your mama and daddy, go sit in front of your mama and daddy and say, look, mama, I love you. This is how it was growing up. I have problems with this. I have issues with this. Let's talk about this so I can find out why you did what you did. Because a lot of times our parents did things and we don't have a clue as to the hardship that they were going through. They went through their own traumas in life. And so we need to respect that and ask them questions about these kind of things and make it so the thoughts in our head match the thoughts on the outside of our head. And then after you do it with your mom and dad, do it with your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend. Do it with your kids. Do it with the people that are the most important to you in your life. Because if you don't get your root chakra right, you won't ever have your life right. Your root chakra is your foundation of your life. And you have to have a strong foundation to build a great life. So integrity is one of the main things with the root chakra that a lot of people overlook. So this is why I kind of wanted to go over that with y'all. But you know, the responsibility as far as integrity, responsibility, authenticity, and how you share your life with others, the authenticity is being real with people. I mean, if I come to you and I tell you something and you just know that is just so not true, I mean, then I lose respect for my authenticity. And when I tell you I'm responsible for something and I don't get it taken care of, then I'm not being true to myself and I'm not being true to my root chakra or to the people in my environment. So these things are so important. And the things that we help other people do without expecting something in return. These are the things that will bless our root chakra. When we do something and always expect something in return, then we have a blocked root chakra. And it can be over energetic, it can be under energetic, or it can be right on time. And most people's chakra at the root is blocked because they don't know how to clear that chakra. So what I want to do today, and it's kind of crazy, y'all are gonna think I'm crazy, but what I want to do is I want to teach you how to reach the integrity part of your brain through a breath meditation. Excuse me, I've been sick, y'all. Not corona though. But what we're going to do, and you got to be a little coordinated with your tongue. And if you can't do it, you know, you can work on it till you get it right. So I'm going to just kind of do this so you'll know what I'm talking about. Make like a straw with your tongue. Can you see that? Right. Okay, so when you do that, what you want to do is breathe out and then breathe back in through your nose. It's like a straw. Breathe out through your tongue, then close your mouth back and breathe in through your nose. And what that does is, I don't know who figured that out, but that energizes the integrity part of your brain, which coincides with your root chakra. So this is a two-part meditation. So after you do that for 3 times, then you're going to breathe in through your nose slow and then out fast. So it's going to look like this. And this is what the exercise you want to do before you get in the mirror to question yourself about your inner world and your reality world. What you think about yourself, what you think about the people in your life, and how you receive what people do for you and you do for them. And I want you to do this exercise in front of a mirror, sitting on your feet if you can, with your butt under your feet, like this in Gosha style. And if you cannot sit on your feet, sit Indian style. You want to keep your root chakra as close and tucked as you can get it. If you can sit Indian style with both of your inside of your feet on top of your thighs would be better. But if you can only sit Indian style the old fashioned way, that's okay too. Just try to get, if you have to, just pick your knees up and bring them close to your root chakra. Just try to get it up close to that root chakra. So you want to do that. And when you do it, you're going to do it 3 times each one. So I'm going to show you. You would go. I want you to do this breathing exercise before you sit in the mirror with your piece of paper and write down your inner thoughts about yourself and what you think to yourself and what you say to the world about yourself. And once you make these 2 pieces of paper match, your root chakra will be as close to in harmony as it's ever been, because most people are not true to their thoughts as they say on the outside. And we have got to become true to ourselves. So that is my little thing on the root chakra. And then Kathy wanted me to talk a little bit about the Earth Star chakra. Now, when we talk about the Earth Star, we're talking about karma. You can call it karma. You can call it past lives. You can call it your granddaddy. You can call it your 5th great, 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 great grandmother. But these are things that through our DNA that are out of our control that come into our lives. They're the color of your skin. They're the color of your eyes. You might be the first person that come out red-headed in 5 generations, but it came from somewhere. And that is your Earth Star. That's your history, your past. You could be a hoarder and have tons of money. And you don't know why you're a hoarder. You say, I collect all this stuff. And it may be because your great-grandparents and their great-parents and their grandparents, maybe they were so poor, they just collected and collected, because even if they don't need it, somebody else might need it. So grounding, we need to know about our history. It's so important. People say, oh, it don't matter. It don't matter. It does matter. It makes you who you are. Your roots go way beyond just birth. Your DNA goes back thousands of years. People say, we only been around a couple thousands of years. No, girl, boy, whoever you are, we've been around hundreds of thousands of years. People are not new. And we come from a divine being. And I don't care if you call him God, Allah, whatever you call him, he's one and the same. Every great religion teaches the same stories throughout history. So we all have the great flood in our past. We all have these things in our past that bring us to where we are today. So it's important to know your root chakra. I love flowers. I love working in my yard. It brings me great pleasure to make my yard beautiful. I have 5 acres to do it in, and I have stuff hidden in the woods. So when I go for a walk, I run across the little chimey bell, and I might not hear it for 2 years because I've got it hid and the roots have grown up over it. But then when I walk in the woods, all of a sudden it's deep winter and all the leaves have died and the roots have come off of it, and all of a sudden I can hear that little chiming. Well, my mama hated plants when I was growing up. Now, after she retired, she loved them, but who did I get that love of nature from? It comes from your root chakra deep in your past. You say, I don't look like anybody in my family, but if we had pictures 10 generations ago, you're identical to your grandmother or your grandfather if you're a male. The nose on your face, that is, you are your root chakra. Who you are, what you look like, how you talk, what you think, all these things are trained. We are trained human beings. We are not true to ourselves. We are true to the environment that we are raised in. And it takes a lot of work to come above and beyond, to go outside what you were raised in to become a better person. Like me, I'm raised in the South. You know, our reputation is, they're just a bunch of old crazy Southern hicks down there, and they don't know anything, don't even know how to read and write. That's okay that people think that. I'm good with that, because when I meet people and they see that's not true, they're like, wow, hey, she knows a little bit of something. How about that? So, you have to be proud of your roots. You have to be acceptance of your roots. You have to accept who you are and be thankful that you were placed on this world, in this universe at this time, and grow. And the way we grow is to open our chakras, and they flow. And if you don't start with your root chakra and come and get grounded with your root chakra and your earth chakra, walk out on the dirt barefooted. We wear all these Rubbermaid shoes, and it separates us from the earth, who we are energetically exchanging ions with constantly. So if we're not barefoot on the earth, we're keeping bad ions in our body, because the exchange happens at the palm of our hands and happens on the soles of our feet. Now, we can lay in the sand and we can get a little bit, but the major exchange happens on your feet and in the palms of your hands. I stay barefooted probably 10 months out of the year if I'm at home, because I have weather that is conducive to that. I can do that. But a lot of people don't have that. So the minute I walk in my door, sometimes if I'm leaving somewhere, the minute I get in my car, I take my shoes off before I even get home. So they have things that can help us ground. I personally think a grounding sheet is a wonderful, wonderful invention. I sleep on one every single night. It's just a sheet you lay on your bed, you plug it into the wall, and the minute you plug that sucker in and place your hands and your feet on it, oh my, you can feel the exchange happen immediately. I mean, immediately. It is an amazing, and the difference in the way you sleep and the way you feel and how quickly you heal when you're sick with this grounding techniques is true. People, I'm telling you, it works. If you live up north and you are not able to go barefooted all the time, invest in you a grounding sheet. Even if you're nervous about putting it on your bed, that's okay. Put it under your desk and stand at your desk barefooted. I put it on my bed because that's what it's made for. It's made to go on the bed. So, I put my grounding sheet on the bed. But I tell people who are nervous, they've not been around one, they don't know, just put it somewhere and get on it 30 minutes a day, and just let your body have that exchange of ions, because your body gets full of positive ions. And the only way to take them out and replace them with negative, to take the bad out, is to replace it with negative and pull the bad out. And the only way to do that is by grounding. So it's so important that we ground ourselves. Grounding is the key to everything in life. You have to be grounded. And the root chakra is so important. And I'm going to stop with that, Kathy, so y'all can do your part.
You are awesome. Thank you so much, Dana. I appreciate you. Thank you for, and I love that exercise. I knew about the tongue, but I didn't do both parts. So that was really interesting. And I love your views on the Earth Star and how you related that with everything and how we are in our ties, our ancestor ties and stuff. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
I think I'm actually going to do a distance session and focus on my Earth Star for some ancestral ties heals, healing that kind of ties and stuff. Yeah, I think I'm going to you inspired me. So thank you very much. All right. Next, we're going to have Miss Vicki Crow. She is new to us and not for me. She's a very dear friend of mine. And she's going to talk about, she inspired me. She was watching our first episode of The Root on episode 9 a couple weeks ago. And she made a altar piece. And I was like, oh, you should share it with Reiki Studio. And she's like, the show inspired her. So I would love for her to come and talk. And that's what we're going to do. Come on down, Vicki.
Hi, everybody. I'm Vicki. I'm here. Kathy asked me if I would speak about my sacred space for my root, honoring my root. So I just kind of wanted to share what goes into doing it. You just think of things that you want to include in your space. I went around the house and I looked for different items that I felt like represented the root, that were red or whatever. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could be a knickknack that inspires you or that you think is really pretty. I used a paper doily that I had from crafting for the centerpiece. A vase. I don't do well with plants, so I have a little fake succulent in there so I can't kill it. And just went around the house and got some items. For my altarpiece fabric, I just went and bought some of the little squares of material that are already pre-cut and did a stitch around it. You can use placemats, you could use a bandana or a paper doily or even some decorative paper. I mean, anything you like around the house will work if you don't want to spend a lot of money. And then this time I was drawn to do a grid. So I picked out some different stones to use. I used black tourmaline, which protects you against negativity and turns it into positive energy. I used red jasper to cleanse my aura and bring balance to myself. Hematite for physical healing, and smoky quartz. And then obsidian, which also shields from negative energy. And then, of course, I found out my spirit animal is the elephant. So I have a red I have a red jasper elephant that's in the center. And then there's little jars there with dirt from actually from Kathy's place at Carriage House. And that was to honor my chakra work I did, I would say, a year and a half ago. And I added some palm stones that I've been working with. And then I liked the singing bowl, so I added that. And then I set my space and I meditated for a little bit, cleared my space with either white sage or Palo Santo. And then I meditated and I took out my oracle cards and asked, what do I need to work on most for my root this month? And my card was, it is what it is. It's basically the key concepts to that were radical acceptance, engaging in life's little surprises and circumstances, and observing what happens and taking it at face value and recognizing and releasing resistance and denial, all things that I needed to work on. And then one thing I'd like to comment on is we associate grids and things a lot with stones and crystals, but really you can use anything around the house. If you don't have stones and crystals, you can use flowers or flower petals, dried flowers. You can use rice and dried beans and things like that. You can make crystal grids out of sticks, whatever you want. It's all in your intention, you know, and what you think is beautiful and what inspires you. So next month we're doing the sacral, so I have a couple things that I'm excited to work on. I created a new altar cloth, $1.50 little pre-cut fabric, and I just stitched around the outside. And then I got a couple items. This here, I love this stone. This is orange calcite. It's a flame. And just some random things I found around the house. A candle that I got from Kathy in master class. Another little plant to put in there that, you know, see is not real. And then just some other stones, some red carnelian, citrine. I don't know if you guys can see this. Tiger's eye. And my golden healers, which I work with. These are for all chakras, and I love them. Like I hold one in each hand, and I can just feel the energy going through. So I'm looking forward to honoring my sacral next.
So awesome.
So thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for talking about it. It's awesome. It's awesome to have something that you go look at and reflect and allow it to guide you, saying, hey, I need to put more attention. What should I do? Oh, maybe I should do Dana's exercise. You know what I mean? It's a great focal point to put some energy. And then the grid, that's your intention. So you could put some energy into that and really, really dust it off. I love it.
We'll see what happens next month. We'll have to post it.
We'll post it. We'll post it. And other people, if they want to do their little, excuse me, altar piece and show me and send it to me, we totally will put it out there. It's wonderful to see how beautiful they could get. Absolutely.
And just see what other people's ideas are for like putting into their grids. There's so many different ideas and people are so creative. It might inspire others to do things like that too.
I know. I love being inspired, and I love going around my house and just picking certain things that mean something to me. I put energy into, and I put it into my altar piece. You know what I mean? Because you could go into your house and find things that are creative for the sacral area, you know, things that are sexual, things that are, you know, orange and vibrant and brings you joy, you know. And whatever that is, put it into your altar piece for next month. Yeah. Thank you so much, Vicki.
Thank you.
Our next lovely lady and our last panelist. So if you guys have any questions about the root, please just type them down below. I'll catch them and I will ask the panelists the questions and see their responses, you know. So Miss Rhonda, she's going to talk about the earthly treasures of the root, what will support it and give it the supplements that we need, you know, foods and herbs and things like that. What can support us in this way? Rhonda, are you ready?
Yes. Thank you. I like to think of the root chakra as the foundation that connects us with the earth and everything around us. It's the most common chakra to experience blockage or weakness. So it's really important that we take care of it. It controls our survival instincts, our security, our fight or flight or fear. It physically supports our legs, our feet, and our foundation. So in an imbalance in that can cause issues with our legs, our feet, our digestive systems, emotional imbalances, feelings of being not being supported, insecure, loneliness, or fear. So there's a lot of great things that can help with that. When you think of herbs, you can, I hope I pronounce this right, it's ashwagandha. There's angelica, cinnamon, ginger, clove, raspberry leaf, turmeric, cayenne, rosemary, dandelion, and chives. So those herbs that if you put those into your everyday life can help with the root chakra. And then I was surprised to learn that there's a few that you can use to make tea that will help with your root chakra. And dandelion root, sage, ginger, or elderflower. So, and I love tea, so I was really excited to learn that. And I'm definitely going to be trying some of these. To help keep the root chakra balanced, you typically think of red. So you get like red apples, beets, tomatoes, pomegranates, strawberries, and raspberries. You also think of root vegetables. Root vegetables are grown beneath the ground, absorbing high numbers of vitamins and nutrients from the soils, enriched in folate, vitamin C, oxidants, and beta-carotene. The healthiest root vegetables include sweet potatoes, carrots, turnips, beets, garlic, parsnips, onions, rutabaga, ginger. But you could also add into that is really good for the root chakra. That is grapes, blood oranges, cherries, pink grapefruit, red pears, again, pomegranate, raspberry, strawberries, watermelon, red peppers, red cabbage, and tomatoes. And you can also include protein-rich foods such as eggs, beans, nuts, lean meats, and again, it says that you can use paprika, cayenne, or even horseradish that help. And it's just really important that you try to include things in different ways in your life that will help balance the root chakra. I like to think of it as the foundation of a house. If you don't have a strong foundation, it could actually ruin the whole house. So it's super important that we have the foundation balanced and treated well.
I totally agree with you. I love making curries, and I just realized all those ingredients, a lot of those ingredients you were talking about is in a curry, Love it. Love it. You should try curry sometime. It's yummy. Thank you very much, Rhonda. Thank you. All right, let me get this in here in gallery view here. So here's a time that sometimes people could maybe ask questions, and we're focusing more on the root. And so if anybody would have to ask questions, let us know. I see the feed, and so there was a couple things that we are going to ask, and let's see, and any one of you guys can answer it. Okay, so how can I tell if my root chakra is blocked? So how do you know that your root chakra is blocked?
You're not happy. You're sad, or you're angry, or you're just not, life is not what you wanted it to be. Anytime there's a block in your root chakra, something is going on with your that's why I always call the root chakra your reality chakra. So if there's something wrong in your reality, then your root chakra is blocked. If you think that your house is not good enough, or your car's not nice enough, and you're not satisfied with that, you may tell the world, oh, I love my house, but on the inside you think, man, I just hate this house. These things are bringing anger to you in ways that you don't even realize. It's so important to be true to the root chakra. It's not hard to figure out. If you go around somebody and they're always, you know, their root chakra blocked. It's like, girl, get a grip. So yeah, so that's a fairly easy one. You know, if you stay mad, you stay sad, you stay depressed, you don't want to go anywhere, you don't want to be around any people. You know, everything somebody says, you have something negative to say about it. These are people with blocked root chakras.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Anybody else have anything to add to that? Any feelings, senses?
So I think right now is well, Dana, I don't think it's too cold there, but here in Michigan, like you're in Wisconsin, you can, in the wintertime, you can feel really cooped up. And I know it's probably even worse with the pandemic, where like in my state, we're pretty much locked down, nothing's open. And I think that's where the fight or flight would come in. So that's a good sign that your root chakra is blocked, because you're just like, you have this fear, or you feel this fight or flight, and there's no rational reason behind it. And then that could possibly be an issue with the root chakra.
That's a good one. That's really good.
That's why I say it's so important for people right now to get some kind of grounding mat or grounding sheet, because everybody is so cooped up inside, and you have got to put your feet on the ground, whether it's through man-made means or just walk out in your backyard. And like you say, you know, they're really lenient down here as far as Corona goes, but I have friends that live in places that are not. So if you're stuck in a house all day, you've got to find a way. Even if you don't do anything, even like you, Vicki, said you can't grow a plant. Girl, you'd be surprised what you can grow. You have to want to grow that plant. See, somewhere in the bottom of your root earth chakra, somebody in your family said you can't grow plants, and you believe that. But we can all grow. We are hunter-gatherers from the beginning of time. So you can grow a plant. Get you some dirt. If you don't want to try to grow a plant, get you just some dirt and play in the dirt.
Yep.
You a little Zen garden with a little rake, with some dirt or some sand in there, just something, bring you in some pieces of tree that you like. A lot of people in the South get pieces of cotton stem while it's blooming, you know, because it's so pretty with the big balls of cotton on it.
Yep.
Just bring nature into your home one way or another. It doesn't matter how you do it or what you do with it once you bring it in there, but you need to be touching something that God made on this earth, or whoever the universe put on this earth, because we are life exchanging with the universe. And if we're not in touch with the universe, we're not in touch with the real reason we're here. So
I have to say too, like, winter is kind of a rough time, and I am feeling the need to be outside, and I guess I'm getting to the point where I'm going to have to just put on some snow pants and go out and sit in a snowbank for a while.
One thing that you could do that would help possibly is that I have friends that have like a small box, and they get dirt and they bury their crystals. Like a way to cleanse their crystals, but it's also a way of grounding, because you're playing in the dirt.
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
And I don't know if it's because I'm an empath, but I love, so especially here, because we have winter typically like at least 5 months out of the year at least. Yeah. And I love salt baths. It just being in the water, in the salt, that kind of cleanse unwanted energy. I have to, honestly, I have to do it like a couple of times a week. And it's just amazing. And not it, and even if you take just a regular bath, it's good. But I add the salt, and I feel like a new person every time.
That's my
Well,
means
salt
of
actually
relaxing
does
too.
something for you. I mean, actually, it's a chemical thing that draws things out, correct? I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I have a feral cat that will come in the wintertime and stay with me a little bit more at the carriage house. And I have this big pot, big, long oval pot full of little flowers, and it's dirt. And she lays in it half the day because she's not going outside anymore. And she misses that. And she likes drinking muddy water. And she, it's just the way she is. And it helps her a lot. We got one more question. Let's see. Oh, this is a fast one. Can a blocked root cause swelling in the ankles?
Yes.
It definitely can. The ankles, it can cause issues in the knees, the legs, just the legs, period.
Well, the legs are part of the root. You know what I mean? Just like your arms are part of your heart chakra, the legs and your feet are part of the root. It connects you to the earth star. It's the passageway. So yeah, definitely any kind of foot problems, it would be, you can have injury, but you need to heal that up. This is an interesting one. Can your chakras be open in the morning and closed in the afternoon?
Maybe when you lay down at night, you are honest with yourself and you come clean with yourself. And then when you wake up in the morning, you're back to being the same old self. And so by the time the end of the day comes, you've been so untrue to yourself that you've made it worse. I wouldn't say that it would stop it one way or the other, but I could see that as a reality. Yes, I could.
I feel like it could also be from trying to protect yourself from the things that happen during the day and kind of pulling yourself back and hiding.
Especially if you had like a really stressful day or something like that, or you just like had a lot of turmoil, or you were around somebody that was fighting. I could see that kind of. But that's typically where I like to sage myself or take the salt bath, because I love to cleanse that unwanted energy. It's not meant for me.
I'll tell you something else I got. I bought, I didn't buy it. My boyfriend Jerry bought it for me for Christmas, but he bought me an ionic foot bath. And that makes you feel really good too. For the people that are up north and don't get out a lot, that's a great grounding technique also. And I wanted to tell you, Kathy, I don't know, you probably know more about crystals than I do, but when I meditate on deep grounding, you said you were going to do your past, your
Yes.
ancestry
Yes.
meditation. I use bloodstone and bergamot and myrrh, essential oils or incense,
Yes.
if I have them, when I do that, because I think the red is your bloodline, your DNA, and the black is your root. It's part of your root. So that's what I tell people to carry in their pocket when they have, like I spoke about earlier, hoarder issues or stuff like this, where they don't understand why they have the behaviors that they have. But we know that it's in the genes somewhere. It's coming from somewhere. So I think that's a really great stone when you're working with your earth star, is the bloodstone.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a grid up. I am. I'll show it to you. I'll share it with you. But I am. I already, when you start talking, it just like really opened me up. Like, this is what you're gonna do. Here's what you need to do. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, oh, okay, I got it. I'll make you a pretty grid. Let you see it. Well, all right. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. This is the 10th episode that we have had. So this is pretty exciting. I love it that you guys come out, donate your time, and you just want to give information, you know what I mean, out of your heart and your space, and do what you need to do. It warms my heart. I thank you guys so very much. Thank you, Rhonda and Dana, and thank you, Vicki, for stepping up, and I hope we see you more, maybe you should be like that 10-minute woman that shows you her beautiful altarpiece of each month. So I thank you guys for joining us, and all Reiki Studio, we love you, and all we want to do is help you shine a little brighter for the next person and be contagious. So I love you, and have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.